One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow, he takes his step, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Just another beautiful hump day. Much love, honor, respect, everybody. Hopefully you're all enjoying the morning so far. Good to see everyone. If you guys can see, we actually got a new fridge installed yesterday. It was here yesterday, but it was not properly set in. We had to do a couple custom old things to make it fit. But hey, we got a new fridge. Feels ultra good. So today we have some updates on what's going on, not only in Texas, but as well, there is new flash floods happening in New Mexico as we speak. As of right now, there has been 3 confirmed deaths from this whole thing over there in New Mexico. I'm sure that the toll, as we saw with Texas, will rise. I believe the Texas count now is humongous. I'm not going to say the exact number right now because unfortunately, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like 400 people. So I don't know the exact, but I'm sure that we will find out while we're doing this. We have a lot of updates. So we also have Russia launches another record drone attack, and this drone attack is humongous. It's like, I don't know, 600 drones or something ridiculous. Let me actually pull it up. It'll probably say it right here. 728 Shahed and decoy drones were thrown over at Ukraine overnight, as well as 13 missiles on top of it. So very brutal. And we have a couple of different stories in between here of what's happening. We have a breaking news story about 3 hours ago. Trump, Doge, mass federal layoffs resume, as well as we've been talking about this whole Epstein list for the last, day or two. Well, we have Attorney General Bondi faces scrutiny over no Epstein, quote, client list. So, of course, we're going to check out what is being said over there. And as well as Trump talking about the tariff deadline being August 1st and that there will be 0 extensions from here. And that is the official date. So we have a lot to cover this morning, but before we do, make sure you guys come in and like that button. Hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free. Listen, if you guys are new to the show, hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member, though, starting at $2.99 a month. This is the money part. This is what helps us do exactly what we're doing right now because we don't cater to views around here. We actually cater to you guys in the Breakfast Club. So very much appreciate all of you guys for your support. Little side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show and Millennial Food Time. Breaking news, all the good shit. Make sure you guys follow that. And we have the Discord being thrown into the chat once in a while. Make sure you guys join in on that if you haven't already. It's a fantastic way to continue the conversation and hang out with all of us. And last but not least, okay, for the call to actions, everybody. Every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all these things are, of course, going to be shouted out and presented live onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your money, well, check it out. We have this these other platforms that you guys can donate to. And of course, I will read your messages aloud. I have the email ready to go. I always, anytime I start talking about this, I just pull it up automatically now so that I don't miss anything. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get through. Let's go ahead and hang out with you guys for just a couple of seconds here. We got Peaches up in here. Good morning to you. See you in here, as well as Rabbit of Chaos. We got Naomi in the building. Let's see, Brother Slim, Steve Easy, my man, good to see you. We got David. Good morning, good morning. Happy hump day to everybody, by the way. We got SNS. Papa Penguin, my man. We got Jack, my man, as well. Tiffany hanging out with us. Yes, we are hanging out, enjoying the Wednesday morning so far. Straight Jacket says, wait till he's looking at houses by school district rating. What are you even talking about over there, cuh? Let's see. We're rolling down, making sure we got Brother Frank in here. We got Sick Bastard, my man. And yes, he says, what list? Exactly. We're going to try to figure out what the hell is going on here. And for the pocket watchers, real quick, just got to say one thing.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit, he said it, not me. We got Steve Posey up in here saying good morning, Mike Ball and Breakfast Club. Remember to race the rain, ride the wind, and chase the sunsets. I like that. That's a W comment, homie. I like that a lot. We got Hank in the building as well. Hank the Hillbilly, my man. Yes, sir. We continue on. We keep trucking day by day, just like our theme song says. We get some up in the building as well. My man, I like being called a squire. I like that. All right, let's go ahead. I think we've got it all set up here. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and start this off with New Mexico and what's happening with the flooding. Homes destroyed as river in Ruidoso, I don't know how to say that, rises 20 feet in minutes amid the Texas flooding. So this is the original report of 13 hours ago. It got almost 500,000 views on Live Now for Fox. So that replayability was extremely high on this because obviously during the Texas tragedy at the same time, people are really watching these flood things that are happening around the nation. So we have two things regarding New Mexico. This is the 13 hours ago, and then we have the official update as of 1 hour ago on the amount of people dead, as well as different images. So this came out 13 hours ago. The last one came out an hour ago. So we're going to go ahead and get on with this.
Texas Task Force 1.
And that's Stephen Dial reporting. But we want to bring Chief Meteorologist Dan Henry into the conversation because we do have a flash flood warning right now for parts of Dallas.
Yeah, and I'm going to get to that momentarily. Okay. But there is another serious breaking news story right now regarding the weather in New Mexico. Let's get to my weather graphics here. That is the Rio Ruidoso River. It has reportedly risen 20 feet.
Did you see that shit moving?
In 30 minutes.
Look at this shit.
There are homes.
Is that sped up?
That are literally being washed.
That seems to be sped up a little bit.
Washed down the river. You're going to see one of those right here. I just got
look at the home.
This video off of Twitter here. There it is, Caitlin Carpenter with that video. But this is an area that has been hit repeatedly by severe flooding over the last year. And one of the things that
we saw that happen over there in Texas too, man. And it's like, fuck, that's so crazy. That's wild to see, just a home floating by. Like,
there it is, Caitlin Carpenter with that video. But this is an area that has been hit repeatedly by severe flooding over the last year. And one of the things that complicates this is that they had major fires out there last summer. It has left large areas with burn scars. So literally now, every time it rains heavily, they can see runoffs. But this is as bad as I have seen. And it looks eerily similar to what we've been showing you in the Hill Country there. But again, this is a breaking situation in New Mexico. Here's a look across the region right now. Scattered thunderstorms mainly targeted the eastern half.
I don't really care about that aspect right now because that was 13 hours ago. We don't need to know the weather 13 hours ago. We got Brother Lee Lance up in here saying, what's up, chat family? What's up, kind sir? Hopefully you're enjoying your hump day so far. All right, so let's go ahead and move on into the tariffs. There's going to be no extensions after August 1st, according to Trump. So let's go ahead and figure out what the hell's happening here. We'll go ahead and speed this up because it's a little bit of a longer segment.
And welcome back here. 2 Live now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's talk about the economy right now. Live picture there at the White House. Well, the Wall Street Journal puts it this way. That President Trump's ever-swerving tariff regime has taken more sharp turns this week. That's how they're characterizing it. Well, on July 7th, yesterday, his administration pushed back some of its most punishing duties by another 3 weeks to August, following a 90-day delay. A day later, Trump said the U.S. will impose 50% tariffs on copper, as well as 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals. Fox Business' Edward Lawrence has it that Trump announced tariffs on imported copper.
Fuck Chinese pharmaceuticals. We should definitely tariff them. We got Joseph up in here, by the way, our favorite snow Mexican up there in Canada, saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, breakfast crew, Bob, and can't forget the haters. Stop the cap. Yes, sir.
Stop the cap.
Good morning. Good to see you on the Facebook side of the things. You know,
will be 50% coming into the U.S. He says additional protectionary tariffs will be added on pharmaceuticals and semiconductors soon. So we're seeing literally industry-specific tariffs about to go into effect now that this 90-day pause will come to an end tomorrow, though for some, that pause has been extended to August the 1st. President Trump also posting on Truth Social this today, as you can see from the Trump War Room, saying, we will be releasing a minimum of 7 countries having to do with trade tomorrow morning, with an additional number of countries being released in the afternoon. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. So yet another release.
So when he's talking about we're going to be doing this tomorrow morning, that is right now, by the way, just to give you guys a little update of what context of what he's saying right here.
I believe in the form of letters, about 7 countries getting letters sent. He says having to do with trade tomorrow morning, saying an additional number of countries will be released.
What up are we now, man? Good morning. Good morning.
In the afternoon here. So in the meantime, though, Fox News White House correspondent Peter Doocy has all on this and more. Let's listen.
The turbulence around the White House's trade policy not going anywhere for now. In April, President Trump set a July 9th deadline for countries.
Real quick, we got Brother Hardwire up in the building as well as Gary. Good morning to you guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your hump day so far.
Negotiate new deals with the United States. Now the president is extending his plan for reciprocal tariffs through the end of the month.
They didn't make a change. A clarification, maybe. No, August 1st they pay. And everybody pays.
The shift comes less than 24 hours after the president initially referred to the new August 1st deadline as flexible. 2 of the U.S.'s biggest trading partners, Japan and South Korea, hit with 25% tariff hikes. A dozen other countries also saw their rates go up, Trump warning them not to retaliate or those rates could go even higher.
Yeah, it's played way too much and overplayed for sure. But hopefully, here's what I've been saying about the whole tariff situation. I really don't give a shit one way or the other. Just pick something. You know what I mean? If you're going to, use tariffs, it's best to figure out what the fuck we're going to use and dial in on that, and just everyone can expect that, because when you put on tariffs, take off tariffs, put it back on, it makes for extremely volatile economy. And so I would prefer, obviously, I think everyone would prefer that these tariffs, if they're gonna do it, just do it and set it and forget it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Don't be going back and taking it off and changing it. Don't do any of that. Just set it and forget it, dude. All right, back to this.
I could have been much harsher. I don't want to do that. We want to have relationships, but in every case, they treated us far worse than I'm treating them. I'm treating them very good.
The uncertainty also impacting businesses here at home who are still unsure of how to plan for the months ahead. Despite the trade war now ongoing for months, inflation has been relatively steady, a sign the White House says means its strategy is working.
We have flexibility about who we can buy from, where we can choose to import from, or to make things domestically ourselves instead. And that gives us the leverage to create a situation in which other people have to ultimately bear the burden of these tariffs.
In April, the president's team promised 90 trade deals in 90 days, but so far, just 2 trade agreements have been agreed to with the UK and Vietnam. At the White House, Peter Doocy, Fox News.
Peter, thanks so much. Let's bring into the conversation right now our friend there at the American Institute of Economic Research, Dr. Peter Earle. He joins me. Peter, thanks for being with us here. Okay, so that was a fast 90 days.
Interesting. I haven't seen this guy ever speak before. So because of that, I was actually about to just exit out and not even hear anything from any of these analysts. But I am interested in his title.
Why not?
I do want to hear what he's got to say.
Tomorrow, 90
Not
days.
all of it, just a little bit.
Is up. Well, today, President Trump denied, though, changing the date for the tariff deadline to August 1st, saying in that cabinet meeting, you heard him there in that report from Peter Doocy, that was always the date, though the executive order he signed yesterday, moving the deadline from July 9th to August 1st, that was an executive order he signed. So the deadline was moving, the pause is extended. Do I have that right?
I think so. I mean, that's my understanding of it.
think
I mean,
so.
you can describe this as
I think so, motherfucker. That's not a good answer.
calculated brinksmanship, where tariff threats have become a central tool of the administration's.
We all know this. Okay, that's already bogus. Fuck him. All right, we're moving on into Attorney General Pam Bondi faces scrutiny over the whole Epstein list or lack of thereof a list. So let's go ahead and figure out what the fuck is going on here. We'll bring the playback speed up. Let's fucking do it.
And welcome back here to Live Now from Fox. I'm Andrew Kraft. Let's get into more of these top headlines, especially those now still swirling around the disgraced and dead ex-financier Jeffrey Epstein here. I want to put this up. This was first reported in Axios. They got the scoop. It was later confirmed by the DOJ and the FBI, but they reported this a couple of days ago that President Trump's DOJ and FBI have concluded that they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a quote-unquote client list, or was murdered.
They have no evidence out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. So why are you holding him still if you have no evidence?
That's according to a memo.
This is such cap, bro.
It's not the cap.
Detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now, the administration is releasing also a video.
What do you guys think happened here? Do you think that he paid somebody off? What do you think the ordeal is?
Both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the areas of the Manhattan prison where Epstein was held the night he died in 2019. Take a look at some of that video that was released. This is about a 1 minute long snippet of it. Take a look at that. So the video supports a medical examiner's finding that Epstein died by suicide. That's according to the 2-page memo claiming that. Now, Axios says why it matters. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death, theories that had been pushed by the FBI.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot that the guy fucking died. I forgot about the whole ordeal. It's what's funny is all these different Epsteins, the Diddies, all this bullshit. The truth is, I really don't follow a lot of these cases. They really don't. They never really have interested me. So I don't sit there and actually study the cases. I'm way more into geopolitics. So these specific cases, I really don't know much about because I really don't sit there and try to learn a lot about it. But
2 officials before Trump appointed them to the Bureau. That's the FBI Director, Kash Patel, and the Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino. So, as social media influencers and activists.
What's up, Ragnar? Hopefully you're enjoying the morning so far, as well as Off-Grid Terps. Good morning to you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your hump day so far.
Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were among those in MAGA world who questioned the official version of how Epstein died. Patel and Bongino have since said Epstein killed himself, but it has become an article of faith online, especially on the right, that Epstein's crimes also implicated government officials, celebrities, and business leaders, and that someone killed him to conceal them. Now, the memo says no one else involved in the Epstein case will be charged. Remember, though, we covered this trial here on Live Now, that Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, she's currently serving a 20-year sentence for child sex trafficking and related offenses as Epstein's accomplice here. Now, one of the major Trump world figures, the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, she is under heavy scrutiny for saying in an appearance on the Fox News channel back in February that very client list of Epstein's was on her desk, ready for review. This was February 21st. This is what she said. Let's listen.
You're not
kidding. A list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
So the list is on your desk ready to review. Okay, so Pam Bondi needs to come out and explain herself right there and be like, okay, I was talking about the case. I wasn't talking about necessarily the list or whatever the case is, why would she say something like that? In direct question of specifically the list.
In a directive by President Trump, I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed.
Okay, so you're reviewing all the files. Well, see, this is where she needs to come up and actually clarify herself.
Because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay, so I know a very short clip there. And remember, today at President Trump's very lengthy cabinet meeting.
Real quick, we got Carney's ride, my man. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning as well. We got Verbal Nights. It is absolutely 420 somewhere. Absolutely. Good to see you all. Hopefully you're enjoying the morning.
Reporters
hit the like button, everybody.
To ask Attorney General Bondi, who was there, of course, about some of these contradictions here. Let's watch this clip.
As the Attorney General, question to President Trump. Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency.
Yes. Hardwire doesn't want to explain the whole story, but he's a little embarrassed that, I accidentally stepped on him with my prosthetic leg, which is, a metal leg, and I fucking broke his foot, dude. Isn't that shit crazy? I broke his pinky toe. Shit. Real quick, we got 13 as well up in here. Good day. Hopefully you're enjoying your morning so far. Good morning. Good morning.
The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure.
Did I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh, no, that's a loser take, what he just did right there. I hadn't seen that. I'd seen somebody say that, or saw someone say that in the chat this morning at the top of the hour. But I didn't actually see this because, remember, I actually stopped live streaming in the middle of this yesterday. So, wow, that is a super L thing, what Trump just did. He should have never gone involved right there. He should have allowed Pam Bondi to handle that. And that was a massive L from Trump.
Also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Deflection.
Yeah, sure.
Did I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
That's not good. That's not good, Trump. He is a creep. Hence why you should talk about him. He is a fucking creep.
Unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and all.
Oh my God, dude.
Emotional damage.
Super L from Trump.
Also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn.
Right. So we definitely need to be exposing a motherfucker. You can't have the government covering up this bullshit.
Is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
That's it on Epstein? I fucking very much doubt that.
Okay, so there, the Attorney General's explanation about the minute-long gap in the video they released of the Manhattan Correctional Facility there in New York of the night Epstein died by suicide. And some of these other questions we do want to bring into the conversation, though. Our friend at the Washington Examiner, Kalen Deese, he covers the Department of Justice now. Each and every day he joins me. Kalen, good to see you here. I know you've been on this story for quite some time. I got to ask, why is there so much renewed interest in this? And why did the DOJ feel the need now to release this memo? Why now?
Thanks for having me on, Andrew. Well, about a week before
why are you gay?
that this came out, there was actually reporting from
This guy is creeping me the fuck out.
the Associated Press that renewed some of
Why did they give him the full screen? Jesus.
the undercover footage that was taken earlier this year of Attorney General Pam Bondi, where she was caught on camera discussing tens of thousands of videos related to the Epstein case. And that caught the attention. That was by the undercover outfit from James O'Keefe. And that was bringing renewed attention because a lot of people had questions about what were these tens of thousands of videos. There had been some recollections in court filings about video files, information like that, but the claim of tens of thousands really caught the attention. And the Attorney General went on and spoke about a week later and clarified that yes, there are tens of thousands of child pornography videos that were involved in the case of Jeffrey Epstein.
Man, this shit is gross as fuck.
And so it really renewed the attention, especially as it came.
Like, there's not many things that make my skin crawl.
Around the time that Deputy Attorney General, Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino was going out and giving interviews and saying that Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. And so it comes as these figures, especially people like Bongino and Director Kash Patel, had been saying for many years before they were in their official duties that there was something to look into about all this. And so it's catching a lot of people, especially in the MAGA world, off guard because it seems like now when the Trump administration finally has a chance to get the answers out, that they're suddenly giving people nothing. And that's proving to be very frustrating, especially to Trump allies, people like Steve Bannon, people like Tucker Carlson, Laura Loomer, everyone in that category.
And this is
rough. Some of those names you just riddled off there, they're calling for Pam Bondi to be fired over this, saying that she didn't deliver the goods, so to speak. So I have to ask, how did the DOJ kind of come to that conclusion? I want to read from some of the memo. It says
really slim. I did not know that.
That investigators found, quote, no incriminating client list of Epstein's, no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed.
Yeah, that you can't just sweep shit under the rug like what Trump wanted this to be done, as you guys can see by his reaction. The thing about this kind of shit is anytime the government specifically withholds information from the public, that is never, trust me, this shit, especially with how you just said social media, you can't control the masses like that. Like, it used to be one thing when it was state-ran television and state news, but it's a lot different landscape now than it was back then, So great point, by the way, Steve. Just wanted to point that out.
Prominent individuals, and that no evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged
and Brother So Loud.
third parties here. And just kind of me speaking here, that was always the thing that I noticed, is that there may be guilt by association with some of these high-profile names who went to a party with Epstein.
Damn, all you legends are coming through. We got Prez as well. Path Killer, you guys. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with us this morning.
Once, or flew on his plane once. That doesn't necessarily mean they would be found guilty in a court of law. Right, Kalen?
Yes, precisely. I mean, we know that the former president himself has been mentioned in some of these files that were put forth by the government in years past. It was something that Elon Musk went out and said himself, that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Well, what is he referring to? Well, at the very least, it could have been a passing reference to the fact that people like Trump have been named in there, past presidents, princes, people of that sort. But we've never actually seen any evidence to suggest that they were actually complicit in these types of nefarious crimes that Epstein was involved in. In fact, the Justice Department said that there was no evidence that they could find to actually bring a case. And that also complicates this, because the fact is that there was a promise to deliver information, but the Justice Department, former prosecutors will tell you this all the time, if there was ever anything to actually suggest that someone of high profile was involved in this, it would first be presented to a grand jury. And that was something that just wasn't occurring with all this. So I think that this is, in some respect, a classic case, an unfortunate case of a dog that catches the car, and what do you do from that
What's up, Process? Good morning.
Point. And I think that the one thing that's very interesting to me is that we've seen consistency now through 3 prior administrations, from the time whenever former Attorney General Bill Barr was having the DOJ investigate this, to the time whenever Merrick Garland, former Attorney General Merrick Garland, was saying that, there's not too much that we can offer at this point about this. So we're seeing at least some consistency on the part of the DOJ, at least.
Very, very good point there, Steve, too. Yep, shit. And that's another L from Trump as well, talking about giving more, weapons to Ukraine. Fuck that. We don't need to give them anything. The fuck?
Maybe not so in the beginning, because it seemed like everyone was getting hyped up for something bigger that was coming out. But as far as the final conclusions go, with this memo laid out, it seems like the government is trying to make the public say this is a nothing burger. And even, as Donald Trump said, people need to move on. And that's just not satisfying to so many people in this country, especially those who are survivors, victims of sex abuse. It just seems rather shallow, to say the least.
Yeah, Caitlin, to that point, though, I mean, what is the DOJ? What's Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche? What are they doing? This is more of a political question. What are they doing to assuage some of those people who don't buy it, especially those in MAGA world?
Yeah, so I was hearing that there was many...
NBC, my man, hopefully you're enjoying your afternoon or evening right now in Thailand, right? My man, hopefully you're enjoying your morning.
Frustrations within the White House, particularly about the way that this was handled. Advisors were murmuring that this was a disaster and things of that sort. And the fact of the matter is that they told the public that there was a phase 1. And many people thought that would include perhaps a phase 2. Perhaps, one could argue this is the phase 2, albeit I would say it doesn't seem like that, especially whenever the phase 1 was materials that were already out there and things that people already knew, and it was handed in binders to a bunch of influencers. And as far as what the DOJ is doing, they're saying that there's footage that people have never seen before, but that it cannot be released because it would be illegal. But I think that one thing that the public and also reporters need to continue to do is to press them on this question. Ask them, there's tens of thousands of videos out there. Is there not a single frame out of that entire pile that doesn't include the abuse materials that would be illegal to...
This shit is suspicious as fuck.
...to show to the public that would offer any ounce of additional information that would make people...
I wasn't even planning on playing this whole thing, but we're almost there. But I really don't care about the rest of what this dude's got to, yap about. That's pretty insane. Definitely being covered up. And anytime the federal government is covering up anything, you should be suspicious. Anyways, back over into Russia. Russia launches another record drone attack on Ukraine. So they shot out 728, which is a record, by the way, for Russia. 728 drones, decoy drones, and as well as 13 missiles on top of it.
I want you to take a good look at your screen. The latest information coming in bright and early from the Associated Press as relates to the conflict with Russia and Ukraine. The Associated Press reports Russia fired a record 728 Shahid.
I won. My apologies. I didn't mean to disrespect your place, your place of residence over there. But much love, honor, respect, kind sir.
And decoy drones at Ukraine overnight, as well as 13 missiles. The Ukrainian Air Force confirming this news this Wednesday to AP in the latest offensive escalation amid mounting Russian aerial and ground attacks in the more than 3-year war. A city which lies in Ukraine's northwest region along the border with Poland and Belarus was the hardest hit, though 10 other regions were also hit. That coming from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. We're learning the area Lutsk, which is home to airfields used by the Ukrainian army, cargo planes and fighter jets routinely fly over that city. No casualties were immediately reported as emergency crews continue to assess the damage this Wednesday. Western regions of Ukraine are a crucial logistical backbone in the war, as airfields and depots there receive vital foreign military aid before forwarding it to other parts of the country. Russian long-range attacks have increasingly sought to disrupt those supply corridors. Russia recently sought to overwhelm Ukrainian air defenses by launching massive aerial assaults, including adding more decoy drones to its attacks. Russia launched its previous largest aerial assault late in the night back on July 4th into the following day. We're learning that was the biggest prior to that occurring less than a week earlier. Russia's bigger army has also launched a new drive to punch through parts of the front line where shorthanded Ukrainian forces are under heavy.
I wonder how many people are just going to end up, the total number on each side, how many deaths and casualties there will be on the Russia side and Ukrainian side. Insane.
Strain. Right here at home, we know U.S. President Donald Trump said Tuesday, and as we discussed the latest here in the U.S. as it relates to this conflict, I want to give you a live look outside of the White House. U.S. President Donald Trump saying Tuesday that he's, quote, not happy with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who hasn't budged from his ceasefire and peace demands since Trump took office back in January and began to push for a settlement. Trump on Monday saying that the U.S. would have to send more weapons to Ukraine just days after Washington paused critical weapons deliveries to Kyiv amid uncertainty over the U.S. administration's commitment to Ukraine's defense. Zelensky said that the Kremlin was, quote, making a point with the attack as U.S.-led peace efforts flounder. He urged Ukraine's partners to impose stricter sanctions on Russian oil and those who help finance the Kremlin's war by buying it. Ukraine's air defenses shot down 296 drones and 7 missiles overnight, while 415 more drones were lost from radars or jammed, that coming from the Air Force. Ukrainian interceptor drones developed to counter Russia's Shahed drones are increasingly effective, that coming from Zelensky. He notes that most targets were intercepted and that domestic production of anti-aircraft drones are being scaled up. Western military and
real quick, we got a W in the chat for everybody. We got 30 likes and we got 28 of you guys in here. I very much appreciate all of you guys in the Breakfast Club, man. A lot of shit going on in the world, man.
Let's say this morning, Russia is boosting its drone manufacturing and could soon be capable of launching 1,000 drones a night at Ukraine. My goodness. So we continue to follow the very latest here on Live Now from Vox. If you're just now tuning in, good morning. The latest information.
It looks like I owe Papa Penguin some dough from our bet. Happens, man. We had a chance there, like Papa Penguin also said. We did have a chance there. And unfortunately, I think, that went down the toilet bowl. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on into some of the breaking news that was happening 3 hours ago. Trump Doge, mass federal layoffs resume.
Taking a live look right now over at the White House in Washington, D.C. So a major shakeup for the federal government this morning. The Supreme Court has cleared the way for President Trump to resume deep cuts to federal agencies, potentially impacting thousands of workers. Fox 5's Maureen Ume is live there in the southwest part of the region with the latest. Good morning, Maureen.
Yeah, a lot of federal workers are waking up this morning with a lot of uncertainty. What the Supreme Court ruling does is give President Trump the right to continue shrinking the federal workforce by dismantling all of these federal agencies. This is despite a lower court ruling that tried to block it. So again, a lot of people waking up this morning uncertain about what this might mean for their jobs, for their job security. The justices.
Yeah, you probably getting laid the fuck off.
It's lifted an order that caused large-scale layoffs tied to the Trump executive order. That move allows agencies to continue cutting staff and restructuring programs. Now, so far, tens of thousands of workers have either been let go or left under early resignation plans. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was the only dissent, warning the decision could gut federal services without any action from Congress. She wrote, "This executive action promises mass employee terminations, widespread cancellation of federal programs and services, and the dismantling of much of the federal government as Congress has created it." Now, departments affected include agriculture, energy, labor, treasury, veterans affairs, and the EPA, along with Social Security and the Small Business Administration. Federal workers we were able to speak to this morning, as you might understand, a lot of them did not want to go on camera because they are concerned about their job. And this is just normally concerned about their job when there isn't anything happening. But now that they potentially could risk losing their jobs, they really did not want to talk. But they did express frustration to us. A lot of them were very concerned and scared about what could come next, about their livelihoods, and just expressed that they thought the Supreme Court would not rule with President Trump and having these resignations and these layoffs happen. But unfortunately, that appears to be the case right now. The president's hiring freeze does remain in effect until mid-October, so we'll have to see how that plays out through the summer months. And while it does clear this big legal hurdle, there are still federal lawsuits and court decisions that still have to come. So it's not completely over from a legal standpoint, but the Supreme Court has ultimately ruled that the president can continue dismantling this agency. So as we see federal workers,
and they will absolutely take advantage of that.
This morning heading to work, there is a lot of just solemnness in the faces, a lot of uncertainty about their jobs. We are in front of the Department of Education, which has all but been dismantled, but there are still some activities happening here. But all in all, these federal agencies are really kind of on the bubble with resignations and layoffs coming. Again, until mid-October is when the hiring freeze stays into place. We're just watching to see how this all plays out, as are these federal workers who now have so much uncertainty about their jobs.
Yeah, well, I really don't feel bad for federal workers like that, unless you're actual helping the public for real. You know, I really don't care about all these made up titles and all this bullshit. I think most of it should be cut. Anyways, now we're going to be going into the update regarding New Mexico. This was as of 2 hours ago. 3 dead after the flash floods hit New Mexico. So that's the updated number here.
We are continuing to follow some breaking news on this Wednesday morning. More concerns coming from some severe weather, this time not in Texas, but over in New Mexico. Take a look at this video I want to put up here on your screen as I read the latest reporting here. Courtesy of the Associated Press, 3 people have died in a mountain village in southern New Mexico. It is a popular summer retreat after monsoon rains triggered flash flooding that was so intense an entire house was swept downstream. A man and 2 children were swept away Tuesday by floodwaters. The village of Ruidoso had said.
So this happened yesterday evening for all the flash floods?
In a statement. 3 people earlier had been reported missing, but it wasn't immediately clear early Wednesday whether those were the same 3 who died. Emergency crews carried out at least 85 swiftwater rescues in that area, including of people who were trapped in their homes and cars.
It's crazy how certain landscapes just cannot handle water. They just can't handle it.
That's according to the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. The water had receded by Tuesday night, and search and rescue and swiftwater rescue teams were scouring the town for missing people, while public works crews cleared debris from the roadways. Some cars were left stranded in the mud as well. 2 National Guard rescue teams and several local teams already were in the area when the flooding began, and more Guard teams were expected.
Oh, wow.
So here is just some video on your screen of the damage and the aftermath of that flash flooding incident that happened over in New Mexico. Those floods came just days, of course, after the flash floods in Texas killed over 100 people and left more than 160 others missing.
Damn, that is fucked up. Not only the New Mexico side, but also what's happening over there in Texas as well, man. We got Kel in Canada, by the way, sending in a Canadian 5 spot, man. I very much appreciate that, kind sir. And he said, dues up. Hey, man, I very much appreciate you making it rain in the chat, man. Very much appreciate that. And yes, definitely coming in hot.
We do here also have this, a post from the Associated Press. I have been reading some of their reporting on this incident. Take a look at that, though. They included with this photo there, where you can see that's the home that we had been mentioning that had been swept away. Floodwaters there. This post goes on to say trapped people in their homes and cars Tuesday in that mountain village that is a popular summer retreat in southern New Mexico as monsoon rains triggered flash flooding and an entire house was swept downstream.
Which we saw.
In New Mexico, officials are urging residents to seek higher ground where they were.
Oh, no kidding.
Back on Tuesday afternoon as those waters did rise nearly 19 feet in a matter of minutes amid that heavy.
Shit. Well, Kel, I very much appreciate you up there. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your hump day. And thanks for making it rain before you had to split off, man. We'll see you on the flip side.
Rainfall.
Shit. All right. So now let me go ahead and see what is happening right here real quick. I'm going to update this and make sure we have the most update thing. We have another story, and this is where we're going to leave off for the day. So let me go ahead and pull this up. And make sure you guys, not only stick around, we're going to be rating a buddy of ours. And on top of that, we've got the Diamond Effect tonight at 7 p.m. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick. So Secretary Hegseth meets with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, I guess amid this this crisis. I'm not sure where they're over here. I thought Netanyahu was already there at the White House. He like showing up from his hotel or something.
Excuse me.
Yo, Hank coming in hot with another 2 spot, by the way, saying disappointed in the Donald cuh. Hey, man. Me too. But, hey, thank you for making it rain up in here, my man. Always appreciate that.
Excuse me.
Okay, let me go ahead and speed this up and see if they're going to say anything. I thought, it looks like they're going to. Taking pictures. What the hell is going on here, dude? Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Jesus, who cares? Oh my God, what a waste. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and figure out who is live right now. I'm going to be pulling that up right this second. And stick around for that raid skis. But hey, also make sure you guys, before you guys head out, make sure you guys hit that like button for us over here. You guys don't necessarily have to like everything that's happening around the world, but you guys can like it for me and my takes and us in the Breakfast Club, man. So listen, we're going to be rating CTs, the only one that's off online right now. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Let them know we're coming in with the Mike Ball raid. We always have a good time. And until tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we have the Diamond Effect. But if we don't see you guys tonight, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the more of the world's madness. Much love, honor, respect, and God bless everybody. We'll see you guys very soon.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire.